I am Dennis Lacewell, principal here at Urban Prep Inglewood campus, and we welcome you and thank you for being here today to witness our students' special achievements. During the end of first semester and the beginning of second semester, every Friday, we have a special ritual that we do called On to the Next One. This is a ritual in which we celebrate those seniors who have been officially accepted to four-year colleges and universities. During this ritual, we call those young men up and present them a brand new red and gold tie, which exemplifies them being admitted to a four-year college. At this time, we have a few more ties to distribute today. So, gentlemen, when I call your name, please come up to receive your red and gold tie. From the Pride of Accountability, Mr. Darius Bell. From the Pride of Relentlessness, Mr. Jeremy Burris. From the Pride of Faith, Mr. Billy DeGraffery. From the Pride of Resilience, Mr. Greg Gwynn. From the Pride of Faith, Mr. Silas Gates. From the Pride of Faith, Mr. Christopher Jackson. From the Pride of Integrity, Mr. Kendall Lee. From the Pride of Resilience, Mr. Khalil Muhammad. From the Pride of Faith, Ms. Khalil Salon. From the Pride of Selflessness, Mr. Arktwain Stevens. From the Pride of Faith, Mr. David Wiggins. And from the Pride of Relentlessness, Mr. Jamal Wilkins. These young men have been accepted into a total of 26 different colleges and universities. I'd also like to make you aware of a few other seniors who have not only been admitted to college, but have been exceptional in their pursuit of college, exemplifying line 4 of our creed. We are exceptional, not because we say it, but because we work hard at it. Please, gentlemen, when I call your name, please come forth. This urban prep young man has been admitted to the most colleges, a staggering 41 different colleges and universities. From the pride of resilience, Mr. Kamal Muhammad. This next young man has received the most scholarship money to date, totaling over $410,000. From the pride of accountability, Mr. Denzel Winfield. And finally, I would like to add that the financial aid award total for this class, as of today, is over $3.3 million. With more still coming in. Please, again, let's give it up for the class 2012 one more time. And please join me in welcoming our CEO and founder, Mr. Tim King.
Thank you all very, very much for being here. I'm especially grateful to our Governor Quinn, our City Treasurer, Stephanie Neely, and our Chicago Board of Education member, Rod Sierra, who showed up today to be a part of this very special announcement. 3 years ago, when we announced that 100% of our graduating seniors had been accepted to college, there were plenty of people who said it was nothing more than a fluke, just beginner's luck. But we stood by our numbers, and our graduates, they stood their ground, and they went to college. Last year, when we made the announcement that 100% of our second graduating class had been accepted to college, the disbelief turned to distrust. They called our numbers funky. These critics didn't believe that a bunch of boys in the hood could be boys doing good. But once again, our graduates stood their ground and accepted college admissions offers from some of the country's finest institutions. Urban Prep's results are no fluke, and anyone calling our numbers funky just doesn't like the sweet smell of our success. It is the sweet smell of that success that continues today. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Urban Prep family, special guests, City of Chicago, State of Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth, I am very proud to announce to you today that for the third year in a row, 100% of Urban Prep seniors have been admitted to four-year colleges and universities. I wish I could say that by gaining admission into 103 Pete is right. Our lawyers told us that we couldn't say that though, but I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right. I wish I could say that by gaining admission into 128 different colleges and amassing over $3.3 million in scholarships, that our students would finally put to rest the haters and the doubters who refuse to acknowledge a room full of proof. But the fact of the matter is, our seniors will have to spend most of their adult lives standing their ground against people who don't believe in their potential, against people who don't want to believe in their futures. We've been hearing more and more over the past few weeks about the murder of a black male teenager in Florida. To many of us in this room, it's nothing new that violence could cut short an innocent life, or that a young person might be stereotyped according to the color of his skin or the clothes he happens to wear. Our students have been dealing with this kind of adversity their entire lives. The announcement that we are making today is evidence that it's possible to overcome that adversity, that it's possible to stand your ground even in the face of folks who quite literally might want to kill you. Urban Prep senior Donnell Wright, who's been admitted to 13 colleges, stood his ground when, after being carjacked at gunpoint, came to school. Urban Prep senior Eric Brown, who's been admitted to 15 different colleges, stood his ground when, despite being abandoned by his father and losing his mother to the criminal justice system, still managed to become a finalist for the prestigious Gates Millennium Scholarship. Urban Prep senior Gregory Greer stood his ground when, even though no man in his entire family had ever gone to college, he stood his ground and made it his business to come to school every day so he could one day walk the halls of Urban Prep with a red and gold tie after being admitted to 7 different colleges. He stood his ground. The young men of Urban Prep know how to stand their ground. You may not be aware of this, but some folks around the country have declared this National Hoodie Day. It's a day on which, across America, people of all ages and races will wear hooded sweatshirts in solidarity with the family of Trayvon Martin. I want every student in this room to honor Trayvon, to honor your family, to honor your school, to honor your community by wearing a hoodie. But the hoodie I want you to wear isn't the one that you find on a sweatshirt. The hood that I want you to wear is the one that's a part of your academic regalia when you graduate from college. It's the hood that you will get when you earn your bachelor's degree, when you earn your medical degree, when you earn your law degree. It's the hood you will wear after you get a BA, an MA, an EDD, or a PhD. That is the hood I want you all to wear. Stand your ground, gentlemen. Stand your ground each and every day. And I promise you that Urban Prep will be standing with you 100%. Congratulations. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce you. You're going to hear from 2 of our illustrious alums. We're incredibly proud of the class of 2012 and their 100% college admissions. Am I supposed to? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. We're incredibly proud of the class of 2012. We are also proud of the hard work and effort of those who came before you, the class of 2011 and the class of 2010. We're real excited about some research we've done about the class of 2010. And we're going to have a member of the graduating class, Gerald Jackson, of class of 2010, come and talk to you a little bit now about those achievements.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Gerald Jackson. I am a proud member of Urban Prep's inaugural graduating class, the class of 2010, and a current sophomore at Howard University at Washington, D.C. I am extremely excited to be back at Urban Prep to share with you some wonderful news about me and my brothers from the class of 2010. My class, the class of 2010, included 107 graduates. Of the 107, 105 of us enrolled in over 76 different colleges and universities throughout the country. That's a 98% college enrollment rate, which surpasses both Chicago public schools and the national enrollment averages. Over 75% of us enrolled in colleges considered competitive or higher. My graduating class alone at this one high school out of 100-plus high schools in the district contributed 5% of the African-American males that enrolled in college in 2010 from Chicago public schools. I am extremely proud of this fact. But what I am even more proud to report is the fact that not only did my brothers enroll at staggering rates, we are staying in college. Of the 105 members of my class that enrolled in college last year, 88 of us are still in school. That's an 84% persistence rate from our first to second year, which again surpasses Chicago public schools and national averages, which are 71 and 76% respectively, and even more, is more than twice as the persistence rate for African American males nationally at about 35%. A lot of numbers, a lot of numbers. Yes, a lot of numbers. But what these statistics represent is that if given the opportunity and provided with the right types of support, we as young African-American males can achieve despite what the media or any academic journal suggests. Urban Prep created an environment that made going to and succeeding in college a reality for me. So, to my brothers in the class of 2012, rise to the challenge, exceed our accomplishments, and don't simply enroll this fall. Make sure you put in the work and keep going back year after year until you reach the finish line. Thank you.
Just to reiterate, because, Mr. Jackson was pausing at all the times when there was supposed to be a lot of applause. I just want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to applaud. I'm going to give you the opportunity. As Mr. Jackson mentioned, the national average for African American males who go to college for their freshman year and then persist or continue to their sophomore year is about 40%. For urban prep graduates, that number is 83%, more than double the national average. Now you applaud. But before you can be like Mr. Jackson and persist, you have to be like Cedric Abdul Hakim and enroll. So a member from the graduating class of 2011 would like to chat with you for a few minutes.
Good morning, gentlemen. Come on now, y'all can get a little louder than that. Good morning, gentlemen. I missed that. My name is Cedric Hakeem, and I am a member of Urban Prep's class of 2011, and now a freshman at Grinnell College. About 1 year ago, I was sitting in your same seat, eagerly anticipating graduating and going off to college. But there was always one question that seemed to linger in my head. What is his next step to college going to be like? Gentlemen, the college experience is something you must go through in order to understand. But to give you a sneak preview, I'm just going to ask you to remember this one word: SAW. S-A-W. The S stands for social life. Of course, you're going to have friends, maybe party a little bit. It's all a part of the college experience. Next is A. It stands for activities in sports. After being at Urban Prep, surely you know the importance of getting involved. And lastly, but certainly not least, is W, which is work. Gentlemen, it is imperative that you do your work to the best of your ability. And do not, I repeat, do not procrastinate. It is a recipe for failure. As you finish up this year and make your final decision as to where you will attend college, learn as much as you can about your school. Learn about the majors offers, the clubs and activities of interest to you, and if possible, try to meet some of your classmates before you get to school. Most importantly, make sure you completed all of your required paperwork or, so you can get to college so you won't have any mishaps before you get there. And when you're on campus, I implore you to take advantage of every resource offered. Trust me, it helps. Finally, make sure you stay in touch with the folks at the Alumni Affairs Office at Urban Prep. A wise man once said, "The only limitations you have in life are the ones you put upon yourself." Guys, you must be certain that no one can stop you. The only person that can hold you back is you. I mean, 'cause look at this. We've done the impossible 3 times. Congratulations, gentlemen, on another 100%. The hard work has paid off.
Great job. I'm always really proud when I see any of our students. I'm really super proud when I see our graduates this point in their lives getting into college and celebrating it in a couple months. When we do signing day, when you choose the colleges you want to go to, I'm proud. When you walk across that stage at commencement, I'm proud. But I have to say the proudest I am is when I see our alums come back and talk to you. This is what it's all about. What these guys have accomplished is what our work at Urban Prep is really all about. We got a lot of parents here. We love you. We've got a lot of students here. We love you too. We have some donors in the room, some folks who write checks, and we really love you. But understand that the support you give us, this and this, is what it pays for. Thank you. Since assuming office a little over 3 years ago, Pat Quinn has acted time and time again as an advocate for reform at all levels of Illinois government and has worked tirelessly to bring jobs and services to neighborhoods like the one we're in today. He has worked tirelessly to help those who are in the greatest need. But most important, as far as I'm concerned, is he is a graduate of Georgetown University like myself. I am thrilled that the governor of our entire state took time out of his schedule to be here to celebrate and acknowledge and recognize you, gentlemen. But that's how we Hoyas do it. The 41st Governor of Illinois, Patrick Quinn.
Well, thank you. It's an inspiring day for our whole state of Illinois to be right here at a special place with special people, very talented people who have worked hard to follow SAW. That's not a bad way to go in life. Got to get along with people. That's socialization. Got to get involved in activities, real important. And you have to work. I think work is a trait that all of us need to remember every day. And I think everyone here has worked so hard in your schoolwork. The people of Illinois are very, very proud of you. We have 13 million people in our state. And as far as I'm concerned, today, on behalf of the people of Illinois, from this governor, is Urban Prep Academy Day all across Illinois. We really want to celebrate your success. Now, I've known Tim King for quite a while. He went to a very outstanding university, like I did, and he had a lot to give back after graduating from Georgetown. The whole ethic of Georgetown is service. Service to others is the rent we pay for our place on God's earth. And I want to say to Tim King and to the entire Urban Prep Academy family that you're more than giving back your rent in service to the people of Illinois. We're very grateful to you. We're also grateful to your parents. And Tim, blessed with great parents. I've known his dad and mom for a long time. They understand how important education is to equal opportunity. And I know the parents who are here today have made great sacrifices for all of you. And that's the great thing about our country, that parents sacrifice some of their present in order to help your future. And that's true also of your teachers. They're real heroes and heroines, of men and women who teach all of us what we need to know about this very complicated world that we find ourselves in. So it's very important that we honor as we go forward in life and graduate from a great academy and go on to college. And we really are inspired by the persistence program of your fine academy, that once somebody's in college, you don't forget them. You keep in touch. You work, use social media, use everything under your power to make sure that folks who are in college continue on and graduate. But it's important for all of the graduates to remember that ethic of service. It's very, very important to remember what Dr. King said, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. So all of us have an obligation, if we get a great education, and you're getting that right here, and when you go to college you get a great education, but you want to use your education to serve others, to find a way in the community to give back. And I'm so impressed by the two young men who are here today who have come back from Howard and Grinnell, all across the United States. They're graduates of your academy, and we want them to come back and inspire the next generation of class to go on to college and make a difference. And what was said today about the importance of not ever being silent about violence. We've got to end the silence about violence. In Illinois, in America, and everywhere else, we don't want anyone to be fearful for their life because they happen to wear a certain type of clothing or they happen to be a certain race. It's in America, it's everybody in and nobody left out. And it's very important that Urban Prep Academy carry that word across this nation, because all of you are going to schools in state after state, in school after school. It really inspires all of us in Illinois to take this message of your academy to every part of the land of Lincoln. Now, my mom and dad, they grew up right here in Englewood, in this neighborhood, at 63rd and May, not very far from this school. And it is important for all of us to understand that we are all neighbors and citizens of Englewood. Anything that happens in Englewood happens in Illinois, as far as I'm concerned. And the most powerful force in our society is a well-educated person. Dr. Martin Luther King was an educated man, and we want everyone here to get a good education. I have a brother. He graduated from college in 1980. He's a high school coach and a history teacher at Fenwick High School, where I went. And he got an award some years ago called the Golden Apple. And the Golden Apple was for good teachers. And I went to that ceremony, and Clarence Page, who writes for the Chicago Tribune, a very good writer, a great man indeed, he spoke at that ceremony. And he said there are two forces in life. On one side, there are the movers and the shakers. On the other side, there are those who are moved and shaken. And the difference between them is a good education. We want you to be movers and shakers. We want to make a change in the world. Now, I know Tim King's going to make an announcement at the end of this ceremony, but as was mentioned several times, we went to Georgetown. Okay, that's in Washington, D.C. I sure hope somebody here goes to Georgetown and tell somebody else about going to Georgetown, because it is important to train leaders. When I arrived there as a freshman, the senior in our class was a guy named William Jefferson Clinton, and he got to be president of the United States, and he was elected. Now, I hope somebody here is going to be president of the United States. I can't be governor forever, so I hope somebody here is going to be governor. And my good friend Stephanie Neely, who believes in education with all her heart and soul, just like everyone in this great gym, she can't be city treasurer forever, can you? No, we got to make sure we have the next generation coming up. So we're counting on each and every one of the people here to follow what they said at Georgetown when I arrived there. Make the will of the people the law of the land. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Governor Quinn. And, you know, we'll be happy to have you governor for life, forever, as long as you keep coming back to urban prep. That's part of the deal. Thank you very much for those remarks. It's great to have you here to celebrate this occasion with us. Before we close this assembly or ceremony, there are a few acknowledgments that I have to make. First off, you know we're here to celebrate two big things. One is that for the third year in a row, we had a 100% college acceptance rate. And secondly, it's that our graduates are persisting in college at astounding but not unexpected numbers. None of that would be possible were it not for the hard work and effort of a group of folks who work in this school and their counterparts at our other two schools, the West Campus and the Brownsville campus. That team of people works tirelessly to make sure that every student is admitted to college. So please join me in giving a rousing round of applause for Urban Prep's college counseling team led by Kenneth Hutchinson. Come on up, Mr. Hutchinson. Let everybody see you. These folks work really non-stop. I also want to make sure that we acknowledge our dear brothers from the second Urban Prep school to open in our network, Urban Prep Charter Academy for Young Men, West Campus. Where are the West Campus folks at? Thanks for being here. The newest member of the Urban Prep network of schools, Urban Prep Bronzeville. Thanks for being here. the folks who lead these schools, the principal and assistant principal of the West Campus, Mr. Childress and Mr. Bryant. The principal and assistant principal of the Bronzeville campus, Mr. Glass and Mr. Curry. The assistant principal and the principal of Urban Prep's Inglewood campus, Assistant Principal Bywater and Principal Dennis Lacewell. Standing on the stage next to Mr. Lacewell is someone who we all may not get to see a whole lot of, but has been an integral part in ensuring that every single thing that Urban Prep does every single day in every single classroom happens. That's our Chief Academic Officer, Mr. Lionel Allen. This event would not have been able to happen were it not for an institutional advancement team of people led by Kelly Dickens. They've been tremendous in making sure that this happens, the live stream happens, our Facebook and Twitter accounts blowing up, they make it happen. They make sure we get money, they make it happen. Give it up for Kelly Dickens and the entire team at Institutional Advancement for Urban Prep. They're the three B's. We got Brooks, Brown, and Briscoe in Institutional Advancement making it happen. All of Team Up, the teachers, the faculty, the staff, the administrators, everybody, let's give them all a round of applause. And I'm almost done, but this doesn't happen unless you have a lot of people to thank. Parents, you smiling at me, but I'm smiling at you 24/7. Let's give it up for the parents of the seniors who are here today. Now, I know people don't think, I know people around here think that I just get to do whatever I want and I don't work for anybody. I actually do work for all of you. But technically, I work for a group called the Urban Prep Board of Directors. We have several members of Urban Prep's board here with us today. I'd like to ask that the members of Urban Prep Academy's Board of Directors please stand and face the crowd so that we can all properly acknowledge you. Here with us, we have Board Chairman Joseph McCoy, Board Vice Chairman Mary Patillo, Board members Judith Armstead, and Board member Stephanie Neely, who also happens to be the greatest treasurer the city of Chicago has ever seen. Where'd you go? Hello. All right. So, well, one more announcement. Maybe it'll be two. This is a bit of a surprise, I think. And I'm not really sure how to, I didn't write this down, so I'm doing this a cappella. I'm not sure, how I should go about doing this, but I got a fantastic email this morning. And this email read something like this. Dear Mr. King, I know that you have a student at your school who's really eager to hear about the decision on his application to our illustrious institution. And I know you have a special announcement that you're making today. So it's okay for you to share this information with the crowd. Jared Roby, the Dean of Admissions, wanted me to tell you that you've been admitted to Georgetown University. Come on down here, Jared. Come on down here, Mr. Roby. Come on down. Hustle up like you want it. You need to come down here and get your hand shaken by the governor of Illinois, who's a graduate of Georgetown University. In case you didn't know, Mr. Roby really wanted to go to Georgetown. Kamal Muhammad, could you come back down here? We said this earlier today, but I think it bears repeating. Come on over. Where's your bill? This young man was too busy to put his belt on this morning because he's been really, really busy getting into, and I want to repeat this, getting into 41 different colleges and universities. Mr. Muhammad, the reason I wanted to bring you up here to make sure that everyone acknowledged you again for this was because when I was talking to one of Urban Prep's staunchest supporters and a friend of ours and told him about your achievement, Mr. Richard Roper said to me, you got to give that kid something. And I said, well, we gave him 41 colleges that he got into. And Mr. Roper said, well, I want to give him something. So as a token of his congratulations to you, he asked that I present to you a brand new, fancy iPad. He thought I was going to say a car. and I'll make this statement publicly. If I win Mega Millions tonight, I will get you a car after I pay for you to go to college. But I'm only paying for one of them, not all 41. And let me be clear in case there's anyone writing this down. If I win the lottery, I'll do that. All right, so we can't have this announcement without, and honor a couple students without making sure we give something to every single member of the class. So with Mr. Lacewell's permission, Urban Prep Academies would like to make sure that each and every one of you gentlemen has a free prom this year. But again, just to be clear, you got to pay for your own date. We'll pay for you, but you got to pay for your own date. Congratulations, guys. This would not be an Urban Prep event if we didn't close it with how we close every gathering, with the creed. To lead us in the creed, I would like to welcome to the podium Senior Class President, Mr. James Jackson.
Good morning. My name is James McKinley Jackson, Pride of Integrity, Class of 2012, Senior Class President. I am the Senior Class President of Urban Prep Charter Academy for Young Man Inglewood campus. Now every day, each Urban Prep campus begins the entire day with saying the creed. And I know a lot of you are asking me, what is the Urban Prep Creed? The Urban Prep Creed is not just words that we say, it's responsibilities we say to our community. It's responsibilities that we make sure that we stay dedicated, committed, and focused in our class. And it's also making sure we stay focused and make sure we have a final and positive road to go to college and make sure we can bring our fellow brothers in our upward community with us. What I would like for us to do, I would like the Inglewood campus, the Bronzeville campus, the East Garfield campus, and West Garfield campus. Sorry.
It used to be called the East Garfield Park campus.
Yeah, it used to be.
West Campus.
Try it again. Yeah.
What is it?
All right. West Garfield campus. I apologize. And I would like all of us to say the creed as we normally do as young, positive, black, and beautiful men. We believe we are the young men of Urban Prep. We are college bound. We are exceptional. Not because we say it, but because we work hard at it. We will not falter in the face of the odds placed before us. We are dedicated, committed, and focused. You never succumb to mediocrity, uncertainty, or fear. You never fail because you never give up. You make no excuses. We choose to live honestly, nonviolently, and honorably. We respect ourselves, and in doing so, respect our people. We have a future to try accountable. We have responsibilities to our families, communities, and world. We are our brothers' keepers. We believe in ourselves, we believe in each other, we believe in Urban Prep, we believe.
We believe our program is over. Gentlemen, please take your seats. You will be dismissed by your campus leaders. Our guests, you may leave at your leisure. Thank you very much for coming.